We're also watching these developments with Goldman Sachs. It has scrapped a plan to let U.S. clients invest in Facebook. And while Goldman will still make the deal available to foreign investors, it's a huge setback for the firm. John Ehrlichman is with us now with a little bit more on the story. John.
Well, we know that Goldman Sachs, Deirdre, never planned to go public with this story, but of course it became public. And now the question is whether or not they were going to get into too much hot water with regulators. When this story broke a couple of weeks ago, we learned that Goldman Sachs was investing in Facebook and that it was planning to allow its high-profile clients to invest in Facebook as well. Now, when it comes to U.S. law, firms like Goldman Sachs are not allowed to advertise to or solicit investors for deals involving private companies like Facebook. However, we know that because this story was everywhere in the press, that commentary had to come from somewhere. On top of that, the huge interest that was coming from U.S. clients for this deal raises the question, were ultimately they advertising the deal? They're taking the prudent move here, moving away from that, and instead going to focus on making this an investment for its foreign investors who are not subject to SEC rules, Deirdre.
And John, I mean, how is this going to affect Goldman's relationship with Facebook? I mean, some people say essentially they hate each other, right? And they're accusing each other of media leaks.
Tough to say. Facebook's not commenting at this point. One of the bigger questions might be, how do the other Wall Street firms capitalize on this development? I've heard from my sources over the last week and a half that plenty of Wall Street bankers have been out in Silicon Valley because of the Goldman Facebook headlines, pitching their own plans on how these companies like Facebook or Twitter or Zynga can continue, and raising the concerns that regulators might have with the approach that Goldman had. One question, if these companies, for example, don't want to go public right now, is whether or not you're going to see more deals involving, say, these companies issue debt that eventually converts into stock, which has been a popular way for private companies to move ahead in the past. We'll see what happens.